Hey folks, Homesteader Mike here, back with Hills and Hollers Homesteading and Prepping, and I want to show you guys a little something here. This is going to be a little bit more homestead content. Of course, with every video and every topic we cover, we're always going to promote and encourage emergency preparedness, food storage, food security type of thing. So I want to show you guys something here. If you've never raised meat chickens, if you're thinking about doing it, or you know what I mean, and if you have the ability, and you have to forgive me, it's still sinus season here. So if you have the ability to put them on pasture, I'm going to show you what you're going to see here. All right, so I just moved the chickens again. Now there are more chickens in this tractor than this tractor. The new valves for the bell waters came today, so I'll be getting this tractor into operation this weekend here. So this is, you can see I just moved them, and I move them in the evenings. I feed them in the morning, fill those trays up, those feeding troughs, and they're empty. Okay, chickens typically won't eat at night. If they do, they just kind of graze. So I'm not going to feed them at night. I'm going to try something different with this run, where I gave them free choice 24 hours a day last year when we did both runs. I'm going to do this year I'm going to do just 12 hours on, 12 hours off, which means I'm going to feed them in the morning. I'll fill these feed troughs up, excuse me, and then I'll not give them any more feed once that's done. I move them, and you see what they're doing on the fresh grass. They're actually starting to forage a little bit. So they're pecking, they're scratching, they're doing everything that they need to do. This gets them a little bit of the fresh grass and stuff to eat in the evenings. That will help kind of subside their appetite a little bit until morning when I feed them again. And it gives them fresh, natural forage to eat on. Same with them. So this is 24 hours of manure load from this bunch. I think there's 30 chickens in there. And this one, I think there's 59 or 60 in this tractor, and I'll be splitting these up going to the other one this weekend. And this is 24 hours for them, and you can just see that just a concentration of manure here. Now that's good, heavy, rich nitrogen, nitrogen fueled chicken manure. Then that's what makes this grass grow immensely. It does a great job. Now, if you look back through here, I skipped a spot with the smaller tractor to kind of get them evened up. And I'll actually pull this one all the way forward this weekend and even it up, and then we'll reset the fence and everything. But you can see the track as we go back, and that's where they've come from, right there at the fence forward. And you'll see this all the way across this field this summer. They should be coming and cutting the hay, so all this out here will be cut as I move my fence forward, kind of leapfrog forward. All that'll be done. This is very important because several reasons. Number one, it feeds the soil. It feeds the soil. Everybody who has hay fields, any type of pasture, management or anything like that, nitrogen is what you want. Your best and most natural source of it is, of course, chicken poop, and that's what we're looking at. So this has dual purpose here. This acts as bedding for the chickens. I don't have to change this bedding. All I have to do is move the chickens forward. They're on fresh grass. They're going to eat, poop, do what they do. I'm going to move them again. So that's the benefits of this, of raising them on pasture. Now there are questions. Well, you got them confined in a coop. Okay, so first of all, this is predator protection. This allows me to get these chickens out here on natural pasture to scratch, eat grass, eat bugs, do what they do, and keep them protected from both aerial and ground predators. A friend of mine just sent me videos last night, video stills from his yard. 4 foxes in his yard last night. He called the DNR. He done the right thing. He got permission. He killed 1 last night. He killed 1 this morning. And right after he left for work, his oldest boy killed another one. 3 foxes in his yard in 12 hours. So, and he's got chickens too. So that's a big threat around here. And there's a big den around here somewhere because a lot of people around here has had problems with them. We've lost several chickens to foxes, and we lost our female turkey to a fox. So that's exactly why we do what we're doing here. So you say confined animal feeding operation, I say predator protection, allowing natural grazing and foraging. Okay. Now some folks will say, well, I put mine in, I put the chicken wire up like this. I put the electric netting up, and I get a guardian dog. I get a livestock guardian dog put in here. I'm not getting another animal to put in here that's going to bark, has a potential to kill the chickens, and yes, they do sometimes. So I'm not going to go through the expense of buying a dog, getting all of its shots, paying for its vet bills, doing all this, doing all that, when this works the same. And the only thing those chicks are going to be doing is walking around here eating on bits of grass instead of being moved each day. So this, you know, you say what you want to about it. This is the safest way and the most efficient way to do it, because it provides them protection. These are not a hardy bird. Understand that. These are not a hardy bird. The next batch that I'll be that I'm raising right now, it'll not be meat chickens yet, are the American Bresse, B-R-E-S-S-E, if you haven't heard that yet. And they are going to be a dual purpose bird, and we're going to see how they work out for us. But this is as natural as you can get, especially with this breed, to keep them safe. Now, when I get the American Bresse, they are fantastic foragers. They are a more active bird. These birds they're slugs. I told my wife the other day, I mean, it's hysterical. You come out here and you're out here with them and they just poop and they fart. It's funny. I mean, honest to goodness, I don't mean to sound childish here, but farts are funny. But when you get these little chicks, they're like little fat overstuffed pastry bags. They are. They're just little fat overstuffed pastry bags. You pick them up, they'll poop all over the place. It's hysterical. Until it gets all over, because it stinks. It's very, very, very bad smelling chicken poop. It's poop, but their manure smells a lot worse than regular chicken poop. But they are fat little overstuffed pastry bags is exactly what they are. And that's why I'm going to try the 12 hours on, 12 hours off with the feeding this year to see if it changes the size of the carcass that I have after 9 weeks. You can process them at 8 weeks. I'm going to take them out to 9 weeks like I did with the last batch that we did last year, because we ended up with a better, I think, a bigger carcass and a better product. So we'll try it. But that's why we do this. It's fantastic for the grass, for pasture management, for you know, the soil, the grasses, and everything. I mean, right there, that's living proof of what a huge change in pasture management has caused on this. And that's just keeping you know, this cut maintained and starting to run some animals and stuff on it. What a huge difference in what this was 5 years ago. Amazing. All right, now the next thing I'm gonna do is, after I get out of here, they're good on their water and everything, so I just moved them forward. Fresh grass, and that way they've got grass to munch on through the night. I'll come out here at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll fill their feed troughs up and let them eat. If they need water, I'll top their water off, and then I'll come back out here in the afternoon and move them forward again. So we just repeat that process. This is a solar charger. This is from Premier One Fencing. It's a battery on the inside, and it has a solar panel on it, and it's got the ground. The base of it is actually its ground. It's like forks that go right in the ground, and there's your ground wire that attaches to that, and then your power wire right here that connects your two fence ends connect together, and then you connect this little alligator clip on the end of that. You see the green light flashing? So that means the battery's charged and the fence is active. And that's how we do it. All right, on to the pigs. You're going to love this. I will bring this up, okay? A little off homesteading topic, but it's going to affect all of us. Now, I'm not going to get into any kind of debates on here. I'm not going to do anything, or I don't want to stir anybody's oatmeal up here, but I want you to understand something. What's going on right now? There are massive amounts of food processing facilities, egg laying facilities, chicken farms and stuff like that going up in flames. You can't deny it. In the last 6 months, I want you to look up food processing facilities that have burned up. Massive numbers, ironically, all happening within the last 6 months or less. Now you've got over 200 some mass shootings in the last year. I am very pro Second Amendment. I am also very pro personal responsibility. And I'm going to tell you something about what's going on and why it's happening. And that is because of mental illness and the fact that we've become a society that we don't want to hold people responsible for their actions. We allow children and young people to act out. There's no parents in the home. There's one parent in the home. They get involved in stuff. We got to do better with our kids. Everybody's got to do better with their kids. I understand that, where I'm coming from with that. We have got to do better as a society. It does take a village, and we have to be much more involved, and we have to be much more vigilant with what's going on. And I want you to watch what's happening now. I'm not watching the occupier speech tonight because I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. Everything that they're pushing to do will do nothing to keep anyone safer. It is going to make it more difficult for law-abiding citizens with no criminal records, who are responsible, who are trained to get weapons, to buy guns. That's all that does. Criminals don't follow laws. Background checks only work if they're performed. Most of the reporting to the NCIC stuff is voluntary. Yes, there's background checks that have to be performed, but when it comes to like mental illness and stuff like that, they are not required by law. It is voluntary participation for each state to do that, and I bet you didn't know that. All right, so pigs. Woohoo! Okay, why would you put pigs in the woods and not use goats? Well, let's take a peek. Step over this fence. You got to get out of my way. Oh, dumbass. That's what happens when a pig gets fenced. You scared me. Get out of the way. Go on. Get back. Okay, I can't get in there, so I'm not going to get in there and get run down. Okay, so people say get a goat. Get goats, and goats will eat all this up. Goats are going to eat from here up. Pigs are going to eat from the ground and root. And if you see this where they've gone down through here, I want you to look at each side of this. See this dense undergrowth? Look what they've done. You see all that? And all this stuff right here, these are roots from all this little nasty invasive stuff and all these briars and everything. This is roots all sticking up here. It's amazing what they do. Don't go whining because I'm not coming in there. But this is as far as they went so far. I think they've traveled a little bit farther because when I came out here, they were farther down over in there. But you look at that. And you think of what that's going to do for this. And you look at that and you say, well, that's destructive. That's not destructive. That's beneficial. Because that is opening up now the floor of the forest. It is allowing them to get in here and clear all this out of here. Root up all these invasive species and all this thick, heavy undergrowth. If you look at these trees, look at these vines. These vines have come up from the ground. And look what they've done to the treetops. They've engulfed the treetops. There are dead treetops all the way around here from the amount of vines and stuff directly from the underbrush. This is why I'm putting pigs in here. Because goats will eat it down, pigs will root it up. And that's going to manage this a lot better. And they're mad because I haven't fed them yet this evening. And I'm going to give them just a little bit. And I moved one of their feeders back here because every time I walk near here, they run over here to the other feeder. And I don't want them to be accustomed to just coming back to the pen to eat all the time. I want them in the woods rooting and searching for their food and everything like that. And I think what I'm going to do here is they get a little farther down here is I'm going to take this feeder and I'm going to move it down there. And I'll feed them once, maybe twice a day. So I'll get them a little bit of feed right now. And that's twice. Are you crazy? You'd think they'd learn. They are a very intelligent animal, but they haven't learned yet. All right, so let me get them a little feed. Are you hungry? All right, so I'll come over here. I got one of these big galvanized scoops. And I'll just get a full scoop. I'll give them half here. And we're gonna get your butt in there, you knucklehead. Look at them. See how crazy they are? They are a riot. Honest to goodness, they are one of the most comical animals I've ever had. And I love having pigs. All right, knuckleheads, come over here. So the boys usually take one and the girls usually take the other. Come on. All right. So I'll just throw the rest of that feed in there. They'll find it. They'll know it's there. But using the animals to improve your land has so many benefits. They're not only improving the land, they're being fed. They're going to provide food for our family when they're done here. And I'm going to tell you, as much of this as we have that we need them to do, I'm going to say between now and November, which is when the processing time is going to come, there's still going to be plenty of this left, because I'm not getting them dependent on feed. I feed them 1 scoop twice a day, and that's for 4 pigs, and I'm not going to go more. I was feeding them 2 scoops twice a day. Now I'm feeding them 1 scoop twice a day, and I want them hungry enough to go forage, because that's what's going to get them. I don't want them to be 100% dependent on me for their feed. I want them to go look for it. So the benefits of having these animals to do the work that needs to be done: it benefits the land, it benefits the timber, it benefits the animal, and it benefits us, because we are raising and we'll have an animal that it has eaten mostly of what it's supposed to do in nature. And that's the same thing with the chickens. They have fresh access, they have access to fresh grass, they have access to bugs, to dirt, to grit, everything like that. And I do supplement them with some chick grit, because in order for chickens to eat grass, they have to have grit. They call it rooster teeth. So the old folks call it grit rooster teeth, and that's what we get. So, you know, that's the whole purpose of this, is to make or raise a healthier animal, a safer food source for us, a secure food source for us, and let the animal work together with us to do and get done what we need to get done. And that's why I love this so much. And the more I've learned about this, the more I've fallen in love with this kind of lifestyle and this kind of practice. So, you know, now's not the best time to do anything financially, but if you've ever thought about it, and you've ever thought, man, I could grow a garden, I could raise some animals, I can do that, don't wait, because this is going to secure your food source. This is going to secure your future. This is going to secure your family's safety and food. We can't do this anymore. We cannot do this anymore with this system. This system is collapsing around us all the time. It continues to collapse with no chance of recovery in the interim. We're looking at years to recover from what's coming, and we've not even seen the worst of it yet. So I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just telling you, that's just how it is. If you can't see, you know, with your own eyes, if you can't comprehend what they're telling you, then they've got you. So I'm done with them. I've decided, you know, at this point, I decided a week ago, with everything that happened, I've turned my back on the world. My back is turned to the world. I can't control what happens out there. I control what happens here. And what happens here is a growing homestead, a growing food production for my family, animals, everything. That's the lifestyle that I'm looking for. The more simple, the better. The less complicated, the better. The less others are involved and interfere, the better. And that's what we're seeking. So I'm going to tell you to keep working towards that goal. Keep making steps towards getting more food security and self-reliance. I want you to starve that system before the system starves you. Keep prepping. Take care, and God bless.